Yo, what's good, family? What's good with y'all boys, man? Now today, I'm trying to make this video quick because I do gotta head to work in a little bit, so I'm trying to make it quick. But today, we are reacting to who will get the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, it's gonna be crazy because we lose. I finally understand it now too. Cause in the last video I was just, what I'm saying, putting the clips on and all that. I really didn't understand it for it, but now I really do. So if we wins to lose and the Broncos was to lose, Jaguar getting the number 1 seed. But if the Broncos lose, we get the number 1 seed if we win out. But if the Broncos just went out in general, they get the number 1 seed, which is kind of crazy because we got the same record. We never played each other, but I guess they played tougher competition. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But let's see how this will all run out. So I'm gonna do more talking. Let's straight into the video.
Here on HQ, talking a little AFC action. 3 teams battling for that 1 seed. Broncos, they hold all the cards, just needing to win in Week 18. If they lose, that opens the door for the Patriots. If those 2 teams lose and the Jags win, Jacksonville goes from 4 victories last season to the number 1 seed this year. Jacqueline, fist pumping right now.
Let's go, baby. We got
4 wins too. Nah, that's crazy. Both of us came from 4-win teams last year. That's crazy.
Hope and everything is alive and well in Duval County, let me tell you.
It's crazy. I mean, going from 4 wins to
Lijay just gave me the biggest side eye I've ever seen in my life.
You guys should be hopeful for a reason. Jacksonville's playing really well.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Okay, we'll get to them. We're going to talk about the team who has the best shot to get that 1 seed. Lijay Duzable, of course, here. Mackenzie Brooks from Sportsline here to help us crunch those numbers. And Mackenzie, it's easy. They just got to win, but they got to beat the Chargers, which is easier said than done.
Yes, it is easier said than done, and it is on the road here, but this is still a Broncos team that should take care of business, right? We give them almost a 70% chance to win this game. We're talking about a banged-up Chargers team. When you look at the difference between, the chance for the Broncos to take the 1 seed versus the Patriots, I think a lot of people look at the Bear records and they're confused by that, but we have to remember the common opponent of the Las Vegas Raiders, who the Patriots did lose to in the beginning of the season. The Broncos...
You cannot say that, bro. That was week 1. We lost to the niggas in week 1, bro. Like, we won't even establish as the team yet. I promise you, we will knock them niggas off their socks now. Come on, bro. We know that. They God. That's crazy.
Multiple swings at them, beat them multiple times. When you talk about the win percentage comparison, that's why you see the Broncos with that tiebreaker of the common opponents there. So that's why there's such a vast gap that you're seeing between 2 such talented teams, again, with exactly the same record right now. And that's why we like the Broncos so much here.
They in front of us because they beat the Raiders twice, and we lost to the Raiders. That's crazy work.
Haven't been that high on the Chargers all year, so no surprise that we do like the Broncos to take care of business against them as well.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have made a lot of gruff about the Broncos winning these 1-score games, but they continue to win them every single week. And even if you go to last week versus Kansas City, yes, they were down to their 3rd-string quarterback. The Broncos moved the ball up and down the field. They just struggled in the red zone, finishing with touchdowns instead of holding to field goals. So they got to be better when it comes to the red zone. The defense struggled versus Jacksonville Jaguars, but for the majority of the season, and you see it, most comeback wins in the season, the Denver Broncos right there at the top with 12 since 2000. But the defense has played well all year long, right? Now, I felt like after they got embarrassed at Jacksonville game, they would come out, with a little piss and vinegar, and they played really well, significantly versus the Chiefs. If not for the turnover by Bo Nix and a long kick return, they probably hold that team to 0 points in that game. And this Chargers game, be real interesting to see what the Chargers do. We'll talk about them later. But if you're Jim Harbaugh, do you potentially play all your guys if only you're moving up to the 5th or 6th seed? Like if it's not something where it's drastic for you, do you maybe give Justin Herbert another week to rest that, messed up hand that he has? So that'll be interesting to look at. I think the Broncos either way get it done.
Okay, so it's the simplest scenario for the Broncos, but of course the Patriots are still alive. They're still in it. They got to win, of course, and the Broncos have to lose. So, Kenz, what does the sports model feel about the Patriots and their pathway to getting that 1 seed?
we're at that point where I can really just explain the simple math, and I feel like everyone's going to get it. You take the 68% chance New England beats Miami, and you multiply that by the 34% chance that Denver loses to the Chargers, and that gives you the 24% chance that the Patriots have to win the 1 seed. So again, that's the only way they get it. They are the biggest Chargers fans this week, of course, in order for them to get the 1 seed here. But again, it's just those two simple math things. You multiply that together, and that's how odds makers do this too, and you'll see the odds pretty much correlated to around that 23-24% chance we have as well for them.
I mean, what a job Mike Vrabel has done with the Patriots. After, I believe, winning only 4 games or less than that last year, for them to have a 13-win season with a chance to get to 14. And I know people will talk about Drake May, and rightfully so. He's elevated his team. People will say, well, he only had one 300-yard passing game, but he's still top 5 in passing because he's been consistent every single game. Like, games that they've lost haven't been because of Drake May. Like, he's been consistent on that side of the ball.
Hey, like Mike Vrabel, one of them coaches, man, who just like he love his team, man. He'll do anything for his team, but he gonna get in your ass too if you doing wrong. You feel me? He one of them type of coaches. So well, them type of coaches, but they always have top tier players, or they always do like probably the top tier best because what I'm saying, he keep it real with his team. You know what I'm saying? He gotta go out there and play. If you're not going out there and play, you're going to lose every game. He just keep it real with his team. That's the type of coach Drew is. And I ain't gonna lie, he been the best coach since Belichick, so shoot. I can't do nothing but be happy for him.
Do want to give
and it's his first year.
Because you see that coach to the left, Mike Vrabel, is a defensive-minded coach. That defense has played really well, and it doesn't get enough love. And I get it, because Drake May, you wanted to put him in the news clipping and how he's elevated this roster at the receiver position. But that defense is top 5 in run defense. I believe it's top 10 when it comes to scoring defense. So they really get after you. And obviously, their mantra, right, their DNA is defense because of the defensive-minded coach. But what a job Mike Vrabel has done. And I think one of the best hires was bringing Josh McDaniels back, right, to really help develop Drake May's game. And I think that's paid dividends for them.
So the Patriots, they found out that they won the division while sitting on a bus. It's not going to happen this week because both the Broncos and the Patriots are playing at the same time in the afternoon. But potentially somebody might have access to a cell phone or something.
During the game, they'd be on the sideline like this.
But, they would be well aware and big-time Chargers fans. Meanwhile, you got the Jaguars rooting for both of those teams to lose to open up a shot at the 1 seed for them. But, Kenz, they also have an AFC South title on the line for the Jags. The math was simple for the Patriots. Walk us through the math here for the Jags.
Yeah, now you're multiplying the chance of New England losing, multiplied by the chance of the Broncos losing, multiplied by the chance of the Jags taking care of their business versus Tennessee, which is the highest percentage of those all. But when you multiply all those together, that's still around an 8% chance of happening. Now, we do have the Jags with an 86% chance to win their division, coincided with around an 80-ish% chance to beat Tennessee this weekend. Now, the interesting thing for them is they have a 42% chance in general to take a top 1 or 2 seed with a win versus Tennessee and see if Denver or New England can lose one of those games. And that's because they only have 2 divisional losses. So when it comes to these tiebreakers, if we see for whatever reason, all of them with the same record, this is going to be a team that's going to be able to edge out either Denver or New England when it comes to the 1 or 2 seed because of the correct losses, quote unquote, that they have here. So they just have a great shot in general of being one of those top 2 seeds, not necessarily the 1 seed though.
Ken, I can't remember.
So basically, the Jaguars is probably pretty much gonna win their division because they gotta play the Titans. Just give them their title. Y'all might as well just get them the hat, the shirt, all that. Just give them their stuff, bro, because they walking them niggas. I ain't gonna lie, easily. But if both of us losing, that's kind of rough because I don't know if we gonna lose. I don't know how we gonna play it. I don't know if Dre gonna sit the starters or what. I don't know what he gonna do. So. That's that, and then the Broncos, I think they playing because they want to keep their 1 seed, so they probably gonna play their starters and all that. So I don't know, man. We'll just see week 18, bro, for real. But that's tough how all 3 of us can really still get it
in a year where we've had it be this competitive for Coach of the Year. We were just talking about what Mike Vrabel has done for the Patriots. The same can be said for Liam Cohen, more specifically Trevor Lawrence. The confidence that he's instilled in this guy. I don't think there's a quarterback playing with more confidence over the last 7 weeks than Trevor Lawrence. And we talked about Vrabel and them having 13 wins. Well, when you look at Liam Cohen has done something that no coach has done in NFL history, right? taking a 4-win team to 12-plus wins the very next season. And that shows you that he's kind of put his DNA and his imprint on his team, and they're believing, right? They're opportunistic on defense. And again, Trevor Lawrence has done a masterful job. And also give a shout out to the front office, because that Jacoby Myers trade was massive for them. He literally has elevated those receivers in that room. So they're going to be a tough out. Say they do end up getting the 3 seed. They've already proven this year they can go into a hostile environment in the Denver Broncos and win that game. They're going to be a tough out throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that pass from T-Law over to Jacoby Myers was
ridiculous.
Like the best
Only
pass I've seen
3 to 4 quarterbacks
season.
are making that throw in the NFL.
Yeah, he's been playing lights out. Obviously, I'm going to say that. So, Kenzie,
you do have eyeballs, though, so like
exactly.
we all agree. You're not going out on a limb as a fan.
Thank you, Emily. I appreciate you. Kenzie, want to talk about the current wild card teams? We have the Texans, the Bills, and the Chargers as things stand right now. So, Leisha, you kind of alluded to it as well. Like with the Chargers, for example, how much, who are they going to be playing? Maybe you rest Justin Herbert if there's really not that much difference in seeding. So, Kenz, walk us through maybe some teams who, might be in a better situation to rest some guys given the outcome and what the ceiling could be.
Well, even if you go beyond that, I think we are going to stay where we are right now with what you see with those wild card teams, and I think that's a very likely situation with what we end up with. What I find interesting this year is when you're looking at the playoff picture, and this isn't always the case, there is so much parity. If you are not getting that 1 seed bye, everyone's in a brutal situation. In the college football playoff, I've even sometimes said having the 1 seed and having that.
I ain't lie, bro. See, from the way the AFC looking, bro, I ain't even cap, bro. It's so dangerous anywhere you go at, bro. It's like, bro, the first round gonna be dangerous. The second round gonna be dangerous. The AFC Championship gonna be dangerous. It just doesn't matter, bro. And I think the AFC is bringing home the Super Bowl this year. Hands down, y'all can bet in the comments too. We can argue about this in the comments, bro. For real, let's get to the comments with it. The AFC is winning the championship this year. Super Bowl, we winning the Super Bowl this year. They're taking it all home. No team from the NFC is really, really better than the team from the AFC. And I can tell you that right now. Stamp. And I'm stamping that, bro. For real, we be beating up on each other. Y'all don't do nothing in the NFC at all. For real. But hey, shoot. Let's see.
Win in the first round isn't always the best spot to be, but right now in this picture, that really is the only comfortable spot. Some of these teams, a 2 seed versus a 4 seed, etc., or a 5 versus 7, you might be better off traveling to Pittsburgh instead of having the home field advantage against a wild card team that's actually a lot better than Pittsburgh or something like that. So
exactly.
Such an interesting situation where we have multiple different wild card teams way better than the divisional winners that you're seeing, a way better chance to make it to the Super Bowl than those divisional winners. So just an interesting parity year for us in the few years I've been doing this.
And Kendra, this is why NFL is king. Because people are complaining that San Fran and Seattle wasn't Sunday Night Football. And I think it has to do with what we just saw. The seedings in the AFC are so competitive. The parity is so vast, right? Because if the Ravens were to win that game, I don't know how many teams want to travel to Baltimore and have to take on Derrick Henry, right? You look at it, the Chargers, if they rest Justin Herbert and they lose that game and they end up being the 7th seed, maybe they like that matchup versus the Patriots better than the Jaguars, because that's been Justin Herbert's Achilles heel, has been the Jacksonville Jaguars. But you won't know because we won't see who wins the AFC North until after these games are already played on Sunday afternoon. So this is why the
only
NFL
team I say
would probably parity is so great. It'll be interesting, right? If you're the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen's kind of.
The Bills will probably be the toughest team to beat in the playoffs because they got so much experience in the playoffs. They do it every year. They go to the divisional round AFC Championship every year. So just playing them first round will probably be the toughest thing on our schedule, bro. Hands down. For me, that's my opinion. But I think every team's gonna be tough to beat. But the Bills probably be the toughest team to beat, hands down. In my opinion, that we probably have to face first round. We probably have to face the Bills, but they coming to Gillette, so we'll get every match back. And then it also depends on how it all falls too, bro. But but I think that's the toughest team. And then I don't know. I can't tell everybody's situation because I haven't really been watching every team for the whole season, so I can't really even speak on everybody's situation. But I know our situation. If we get through the Bills, and it depends on how bad we beat the Bills or how we beat them, that's gonna really show how we gonna react in the playoffs for if we play them first round. If we get the first round bye, then we got time to really see what teams got going on, who got hurt, this, that, and the third, boom, boom, boom. See who play next, go out there BTA. So because it really make no difference if we played the Bills now or if we play them in the division round. We still gonna have to play them regardless. We still gonna have to see them. So ain't gonna be no difference. But got ain't going. Yeah.
Banged up right now, and you feel like you could probably go anywhere on the road and win. Do you potentially rest him this week versus New York Jets? Same thing with Justin Herbert, right? Does being the 5 or 6 or 7 seed really matter to you that much? Because you ultimately have to go on the road anyway. Maybe getting an extra week for him to rest that hand pays dividends for you. And I think the Houston Texans are going to continue to play regardless, just in case the Jacksonville Jaguars slip up, they can win the AFC South. But it'll be real interesting to see what Coach McDermott and Coach Harbaugh does with the Chargers and the Bills, right? Because they can't essentially win the division. They're going to go on the road regardless. Do they rest their 2 starting quarterbacks because both of them are banged up right now?
Yeah, and if the
we
Chargers...
we might be getting a little too cute if we think, oh yeah, you know, Josh Allen could just go on the road like Patrick Mahomes and beat anyone he wants to. But again, this might be Josh Allen's year if there's no Patrick Mahomes. So that's what it reminded me of, Lige, when you said that.
Yeah, well, my thing is, like, if you're the Bills, like, you're either most likely going to the Patriots, which you proved you can go there and win, or you're going to most likely, Jacksonville or the Ravens, right? Like, it's not going to, like you said, it's not going to be easy out either way. So it's like, do you weigh getting more rest for your players and then having to take on a tough team, or you try to get cute, like you said, and let's go ahead and put them out there and put them in harm's way. Let's win this game, and then you end up playing, the
it's so
Patriots.
Crazy though, because I just thought about it too. So if the Chargers, if the Chargers was to lose, they'll have to play us if we win. Okay.
Stuck in the 7th seed and everybody wins above you. I just think a lot of teams will look at this and say, I think we would like to rest a little bit more than where we potentially have to play, because every team is going to be tough that we have to play in the AFC in the first round.
Well, it's the knowns versus the unknowns, right? You have no idea who you're going to end up playing, but you do know that you want a healthy quarterback.
Correct.
So you kind of have to make that business decision and figure out what you want to do there. The Chargers are an interesting scenario, though, given what would happen if the Broncos were to win that game. So it's all connected. It's all very interesting. Mackenzie Brooks, we appreciate you bringing the numbers. Lige, we love the analysis.
That's it. Y'all seen what's going to happen in the AFC. Y'all AFC fan, man. Comment down AFC down below. But look, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That's the end of the vid. I'll be on to the next one, man. Let's get it.